I'll start with Jaden Ivey.
Of course.
Jaden Ivey. Well, let's rewind a little bit before we ever selected Jaden Ivey. Pistons fall to 5. Turmoil in the community. Frustration. Could have got Chet. Wanted Paulo, and the whole 9 yards. Coming up to draft time, you don't even think Jaden Ivey's a possibility. There's no way the Kings are gonna king. Well, they did. And not that Keegan Murray's not gonna be a good player, but superstar potential? I don't know about that. And I think the most athletic guard coming out was Jaden Ivey. What does that mean for the backcourt, the relationship he'll have with Cade in the future, and really the Pistons? Did them falling actually help them?
Definitely. I think now the foundation of the team is more around athleticism than it was over the last year. You could see last season points in time where the team was clearly lacking that overt athleticism that Jaden Ivey provides. And now that they have that, you can play with that in certain ways. They can run out and transition more. They can play with speed in the half court, which is something that they couldn't do before. It's definitely been a great surprise to have Jaden Ivey fall that far to the Pistons at number 5 in the draft.
No, it was insane.
Yeah.
It was. And you got to see him in the summer league. And recently, the Rico Hines footage, the Balls Life footage. And it's funny because people go on Twitter and they overreact, seeing Jaden Ivey get a shot blocked. All of a sudden now your season expectations completely change when you see a pickup run. Kevin Knox looks like Kevin Durant. I mean, this stuff, and I want to get your opinion on it. One, what did you take away from those two different videos? And then number two, I do want to hear your season expectations because I think it differs. A lot of people kind of mutually agree, at least that I've talked to. You want them to get better, maybe 30, 35 wins. Number one, what'd you take from those two videos? And then number two, what's your season predictions?
I think the thing that interested me the most about those two videos was that Cade and Ivey weren't playing together.
True.
Interestingly, I think that is something that they might play with to start the year. Another user pointed out to me hey, maybe they just want to get Ivey more run as a primary ball handler. Hard to do that with Cade on the floor. That makes a lot of sense. But the lineups were really interesting to me with Ivey, Stu, and Bagley on one team, and Cade, Bay, and Duran basically on another team. It's you would, in my mind, you'd like to get a better mix of those guys, a better feel for all those guys. But it's August. What are you gonna do?
It's a pickup.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing was nice. Cade looks really good, and that is the most important thing for this season coming up.
Yep.
Cade looked really, really good. He looks taller. He looks stronger, which are all things you expect, right? He's a year older, and he was only 20 coming in. But just to see that stuff, that's the stuff that gets you really excited about what you're going to see in late October. My expectations for the season, 29 wins. I think that's a 6-win improvement over last season. I think it's definitely possible that this team could win 35 games, but I'm trying to price in an injury, right? Cade tweaked an ankle, and all of a sudden the team goes from 1-13. I'm trying to price in, maybe we talked about Jaden Ivey's overt athleticism. Maybe he tweaks an ankle and he's out for a couple of weeks, and that's something you want, obviously, to him to get fully recovered since so much of his game is predicated on athleticism. So I think 29 wins is a fair amount of wins. If you want to ride the hype train, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm very excited about where this team is going.